Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. My name is Peter Tusik. I am the brand ambassador of blindness products for Humanware, and I'm joined by Roland Saliba. And we're really glad to have Roland here. Roland, this is like your inaugural user sort of, it's your first big time webinar. Welcome to the party.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy that I'm here, and I'm very excited about today and also what the future will bring as well.
It's going to be fun.
So we have this webinar is going to be 90 minutes, and we'll be talking about what is new on the VictorReader. What is VictorReader Trek 2.1? We will look at what is on the website, what changed, and we'll have demos on the new features, and we'll have a Q&A session at the end of the this presentation. So to start with, what is new on the VictorReader? What is new on VictorReader 2.1? As you all know, or may have been aware of, it's the new maps from here. The new maps from here is industry leading maps with with location intelligence at its heart. It's providing more precision in addresses, and it's providing more accuracy in street names and up-to-date maps for sure. We've already started hearing positive feedback about that. I'll walk through at a high level everything what is new on the VictorReader 2.1, and then we'll go in depth in every one of them. Besides the new maps from here, we have improved routing and rerouting. We have the access to world maps. We have a faster map installation option. The new map browsing mode, a new virtual navigation feature, and then we added some languages. In the new here maps, so the new maps replace the TomTom maps. So whenever you had TomTom maps on your device, whenever you install the here maps, it replaces them. It replaces all of them. And the here maps, as I just said, they provide more precision and accuracy, and they're more up to date. You can install the here maps using the Wi-Fi directly on the device, same way as you used to do it before. And now you have the option to install the maps using a computer and an SD card, which is a much faster way and a guided way to install the maps of your choice on your device. Peter will walk you through this in the demo. So the new here maps are offered free of charge for all existing users, and I'm very happy we were able to provide that. Besides that, you have access to global maps. So all the map packages that are available, you can go and install any of them, any map package of your choice, free of charge, to make use of it, and we'll see what you can do out of it, not only in navigation, but also we'll move to the virtual navigation part. I'm trying to jump ahead of time, ahead to the virtual navigation because it's amazing. I'll get there. So still on the new here maps. So you should have already the version 2.1 on your device in order to be able to install the here maps. And also what you need a space on your internal memory in order to install more maps. So the more you want to install, the more memory you need. Now, every map package has a certain size, but they're all less than 4 gigabytes as a package on its own, so that you can use it to use it on an SD card of 4 gigabytes. You can, if you have a limit of that, so you can use install the maps on using the SD card. And also it's for managing your memory. So if you want to remove some map packages, every map package is maximum 4 gigabyte. Now, the global maps, you need to manage them in a way, and you will not be able to have all global maps together at the same exact time on the device, because they're very large, and the data in them makes them very large. There's a lot of detail in them. So you can use multiple SD cards and keep multiple different maps on different SD cards and reuse them. You also see that option in the demo.
Yeah, I'll be walking through that, everybody. So we will look at where to go to get the maps, and also how do we manage the maps. And I'll show you what I do. I like to keep them all on my computer, and then how, if I need to add or remove regions or parts of the world, I can easily do that. And I'll walk us through where to find them and then how to easily move them over and get rid of them.
Perfect. And the map packages, they're divided into either the multiple states or multiple countries, or a single country, depending on the size. So, for example, in the states, we have the U.S. West maps, will include California, Colorado, Montana, Nevada, etc. In Europe, it's divided into countries. So, for example, North Central Europe maps package will have Austria, Germany, and Holland. For Canada, for example, it's one package. New Zealand, same, one package. So that's the way it is divided. So now the here maps, they are actually the automotive market leader. On the screen, you can see or count. I can count 28 automotive manufacturers who work directly with here. I'll list some of them, such as Acura, Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, GMC, Honda, Hummer, Infiniti, etc. And here, maps, they use HD maps. What does HD maps mean? It's a highly precise and dynamic maps. What is highly precise and dynamic maps? It is actually the prerequisite of fully automated vehicles. So combined with sensors and so on in the automotive in the vehicle, for example, HD maps would progress towards fully automated vehicle. Besides that, there's a study that was done by Omdia Research to compare all map providers, and the study found that the top from the top four, the leaders providers, they're here Google, Mapbox, and TomTom, and from the scores of the leader scoreboard, here got the highest score, which is 7.49, followed by Google, which is 7.37, and then the other two followed them. Google, the study was done in terms of completeness and reach. So Google was a little bit ahead of here in terms of reach, but then here was much ahead than Google in terms of completeness. When I say completeness, it means based on the study, they studied from the core data, the mapping, and the platform, which is the map coverage and artificial intelligence capabilities, and value-added services such as the support for digital assistants and so on. We do see an intense competition between here and Google. Moving to the routing engine revamp, some of the things that were done are the improvements on the instructions for more accurate guidance. There also was improvement on the pronunciation of street names and abbreviations, especially in multiple languages when someone wants to use the voice auto switch feature, which is, if you don't know, if you haven't got to it yet, it's the actual feature where if you bilingual, for example, you can use your VictorReader Trek in both English and French, and then have it speak the street names in French. If you're, for example, in Montreal, then all street names are in French, then but you still want your VictorReader to speak in English. So that's from one side, and another side, abbreviations such as Avenue. If it's written AV, VictorReader will know that this is an Avenue. The revamp also worked on the accuracy and the speed of the address search. It is much faster and more accurate today. Another improvement is the pre-recorded routes that you had on previous versions. They're automatically imported on the new Here maps. And then there were improvements on what's around feature, where you get what is around you, no matter how complex the street layout is, plus many more improvements. The map browsing mode, the new feature added to the VictorReader in this version 2.1. What is the map browsing mode? It allows you to explore any area of your choice while just sitting and relaxing at home. You can explore the area for fun, for preparation, or of a trip, or to just explore your environment and learn more about your neighborhood. Now you can access the virtual navigation feature, which is called map browsing mode, from your current address, which requires you to be connected to GPS, or from a saved landmark, or from a new entered address. If you're accessing it from a saved landmark or a new entered address, you don't necessarily need a GPS connection to do that. It provides similar functionalities as the orientation mode. So it will give you the where am I function, the what's around function, where you can find POIs and landmarks. And you can save a landmark wherever you are virtually to reuse it in orientation mode afterwards. It is, the map browsing mode is a mainstream differentiator. I don't know if you would like the list of the differentiators here.
Well, I think it's important in that, and I've said this for anyone who's heard me on podcasts beginning back in about March of this year in CSUN, when we looked at a very early version of this, it really brings us back to the level of where we were with our previous GPS products. So if we think about what HumanWare offered on the Braille Note, the Braille Note Apex, and those products back where you could virtually explore, we've heard for a long time, and really what this software version seeks to kind of bring forward is a lot of things that have been asked for in terms of updated maps. We know that we needed to work on kind of getting those maps to where they need to be. We've certainly done that. And then also getting this feature in particular being something that really does set this type of product apart from any sort of mainstream GPS app that's out there. So being able to virtually explore allows us to, and I'll be demonstrating this, but allows us to put ourselves somewhere and walk around, and not only walk around, but learn the points of interest that may be there, or walk many blocks, or before we go to a hotel, or before we go to a friend's house, being able to look at that area, and also being able to drop landmarks in that area should we need to at a certain intersection. Maybe we need to be reminded of something when we're crossing a certain street, or we reach a certain point. So it's something that the differentiators are there, and by differentiators, what I'm referring to is really just what is different, what makes this product still so viable as opposed to using GPS apps. Many of us are iPhone users or we use smartphones, and we know that all of those offer GPS functionality. I think that the data is one major piece of that. You're not draining your phone's battery. If anybody's ever used Waze, you know what it does to your battery, or Google Maps or Apple Maps for that matter. When it's running on your smartphone, it's really taking a lot of juice, and you do need that sort of battery sort of capacity. So this won't drain your battery, won't use data, and then the pieces like being able to be in open areas, college campuses, being able to pre-record routes, receiving turn-by-turn instructions that are pedestrian-based. A lot of those things are, they're unique to the product. They're something that are, is something we're really proud of. But the virtual map browsing mode is just another piece that really makes this still viable. And I'll be demonstrating that as I have before. But I think we'll go to a new address. We're done walking around Little Italy in Chicago, for those of you who have heard me do that time and time again over the last several months, because now we have the full map, so we will certainly be able to bring that forward, and I'll be demoing that.
Awesome. I'll walk you through a little bit of updates on the website since the launch of VictorReader Trek 2.1. So before the update, when you go to the support page, there used to be a list of links. Now, when you go to this HumanWare website, to the support page, to the VictorReader Trek section, you would see 5 links. One is for documentation, which will contain the user guide and the release notes. It will have the new updated user guides, and if there are some other languages that are in the process of updating, they'll be under the section older versions. Just need to make sure if you are in an older version, make sure to go to the non-older version. It is updated in English, French today, and more languages are coming up to be updated on the website. The second link on the support page for the Trek is it's called update or install a new software version. This link will contain how-to guides to how to install a new version, or whenever if you want to change a voice package or change a language. And followed by the small guide, there will be the links by language. The third link on the support page for the Trek is the install new map packages here maps. In this page, when you go to it, there will be a how-to guide, how to install the new maps using whether directly from the device or via USB and SD card. And then there will be the links per package of the country or region that for you to choose from. The fourth link is the link to the frequently asked questions. And the fifth link is the link to subscribe to the GPS newsletter. So we would be using this list to update you of any new updates coming up on the VictorReader or GPS on the VictorReader Trek and GPS area. Then we can start moving to the demos.
I'm going to come in and we're going to take a look at the new web page, the support page for the VictorReader Trek that Roland was mentioning. I'll then show you how to download and copy maps over to your VictorReader Trek. I will then go through how to manage maps online, meaning on the online bookshelf of your Trek. So if you need to add or remove maps, and then we will take a look at virtual exploration. So we have a lot to kind of cover, but I think we'll be able to do it in a nice fashion. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start screen share, and you will hear my JAWS come through in a moment. Check this box. All right. Now, I have started screen share, and again, you will hear my JAWS come through.
Alert.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to move focus over to our website. So the Humanware website, we're going to start from the homepage at www.humanware.com. Going to move my focus over to that window.
Humanware-home-low vision aids for macular degeneration.
All right, this is our website. And again, www.humanware.com. When I'm here, and Roland had mentioned, and you can also go directly to support.humanware.com if you would like. But when you're on the main page, if you open a links list, so I'm using JAWS. You can also do this with NVDA or whichever screen reader you may be using. I'm going to open up a links list.
Links list.
And I'm going to press S to move my focus to support.
S, support, 10 of 90.
So once I hear support, I'm going to press enter, and we're going to open up our support page.
Enter, navigation region, main menu, support link.
Now, this is where we go to
Alert.
look at all supported Humanware products. So we have the Trek or our Braille notes, low vision devices, embossers, all of the products that we support will show up here, and there will be a link for each product, and it will bring you to the product page. So what I'm going to do at this point is open up another links list, and I'm going to find the link for VictorReader Trek. Again, we're on the support page. There are many ways of doing this. If you're using, you could use a find command and type in the word Victor. There are many ways to get here, but I'm going to open another links list.
Links list.
And I'm going to press the letter V as in Victor.
V, VictorReader Trek, 33 of 72.
Here's our link for the VictorReader Trek. I'm going to press enter, and we will open the support page specific to the VictorReader Trek.
2 regions, 5 heading.
All right, now, when you are on this page, so again, we've redone it. It's very clean. It's cleaned up, and it's very nice and easy to use. Once you get to the particular support page, these are built as they should be with proper screen reader heading levels, that is. When I want to jump to the VictorReader information, right, there's a lot of fluff above. So if you're just down arrowing or tabbing your way through life on the internet, it's going to take you a long, long, long time to get to where you want to go. I am going to press the number 2 on the number row to jump immediately to the first heading level 2 on the page.
Support heading level 1. VictorReader Trek heading level 2.
Which is the VictorReader Trek heading. Again, you could press H until you get there as well. Or you could find many other ways. You could just down arrow till you get here. But to quickly come, it is at heading level 2. So as soon as I get to the VictorReader Trek heading level 2, now when I down arrow, I will see those new links. There are 5 of them that Roland was referencing.
Link documentation.
So this first link is documentation. And this is going to be where you would find your user guide, your manual, so to speak. And anytime there are sort of documentation specific to sort of the whole product. If I press my down arrow again,
visited link update or install a new software version.
This is the link that is to update or install a new software version. And I'm actually going to slow my speech down a tad. I'd slowed it down a lot, but
slower.
Sometimes it's still a little
slower.
Fast, and I don't want it to be too fast for anybody on the phone. I want you to hear exactly what I'm getting. So again, this link, the second link after that VictorReader Trek heading, once we're on our support page here, is where we go to install or update our software package. This is where you go if you want to change the voices on your device. So if I press enter on this link, again,
visited link update or install a new software version.
Update or install a new software version. It says visited because I had previously pressed enter on this link and I have cookies and everything turned on. So my web browser knows this was a visited link. So if it's somewhere you go a lot, you could just use V to jump through your visited links if you're using JAWS, for instance. But I'm going to press enter on this link. So again, the update
visited link update
or install a new package.
Enter. Main region, update or install a new software.
Now, there are instructions here. So again, if you use H to jump by heading, you will move to the text instructions that explain how to do this. And essentially what we're going to walk through it, but we're going to download one of these packages, and then you would copy and paste them onto the root of your SD card, which I will do with the maps. And when you turn your unit on, it will install. And all those instructions are here. If you're already familiar with this and you don't want to look at those instructions, if you press the number 4 on the number row, you will jump to the first heading level with the packages.
VictorReader Trek 2.1 installation instructions heading level 1. Install the new 2.1 version heading level 2. Update packages links ending in UPG : heading level 3.
You're getting
English-Australia heading level 4.
You heard that, and I just did that to show you that everything is at a different heading level. So at heading level 1, 2, 3, and 4, these are all broken down into various levels. And you'll notice the first thing at heading level 4 is the Australian language package. So if I press my down arrow,
Link VictorReader Trek Australian English v2.1 Lisa and Tyler left parent female English male English right parent.
this would be the Lisa and Tyler. That is this voice package, female English, male English. Now, if I move to my next heading, or if I press 4 again, I'll jump to the next country.
English-North America heading level 4.
Here's the North American packages. And again, my down arrow, there is a link for each voice package. So I'm going to press my down arrow.
Link VictorReader Trek Canadian English v2.1 Sharon and Louise left parent female English female French right parent.
And that would be if you wanted the female English and female French. And again, there are multiple packages here. Some of you may use Sharon and Ryan, or Sharon and Manon, or Sharon and Louise, or whatever it may be. This one is nice. It takes advantage. Again, if you have this or these multilingual packages installed, you will be able to then take advantage of street names that are pronounced differently, or whatever you may come across. So if you have something that is pronounced in a native language, and you want your instructions to still be in in English, you can certainly do that. When you want one of these packages, it's as simple as pressing enter on the package you want. So let's just say I come down to Ryan.
Link VictorReader Trek Canadian English v2.1 Sharon and Rosa left parent female English female Spanish right parent.
So let's say I wanted English and Spanish. I would press enter on this.
Enter. Untitled alert. Downloading 458 MB.
And it's going to download this package. This will then be in my downloads folder. At that point, I would come in and I would be able to simply copy and paste that package, or that file, that UPG file, into the root of my SD card. And we're going to do that with maps. So don't worry, I will show you how that's done, how we connect a player and how we actually install. But again, this is how you find
alert. Download complete
these packages online. I'm going to come back to the previous page.
Humanware
I'm going to come back to our support page here.
Blank visited link update or install blank.
So that link, again, the second link is update or install a software package, which is where you go if you'd like to download a package with other voices. The link below that, so again, we're just on the VictorReader Trek support page. The third link down,
visited link install new map packages and dash here maps,
is the link that you will click on to install the new map packages. These are the here maps. I will click this link in a moment, but I'd like to show you the other two links that are on our support page.
Link frequently asked questions.
Very, very important. The fourth link down, frequently asked questions. Please read the FAQs. We put these together for a reason. They are FAQs. They are frequently asked questions that we come across quite often, and we want to give everyone the ability to be able to ask and kind of get into those questions. So they are here. The final link here
visited link Trek GPS newsletter subscription
is the Trek GPS newsletter subscription, which is a new link that will allow you to register for and connect to, get receiving our Trek updates. And Roland, can you comment briefly, just what that will look like when somebody registers for that? Is there how often they might receive something with the Trek newsletter?
Yeah, there will be every now and then. So there's no specific frequency for the GPS, but they're specific for the GPS newsletter news. There's another list also for Global Humanware subscription for every news about any Humanware product.
Sorry, Eric, your message came through, and I think I'm getting some feedback on my side too.
No
but it won't be super frequent. It's to stay abreast with what's going on with the product. So it's kind of, we put this link here so that anybody could stay up to date with what we're doing and kind of keep track. And I know a lot of people ask me, how do I register for the Humanware? How do I find out when there's a new webinar or an update to software or things? And it's always, again, another great way to stay in tune is to download the HW Buddy application for iOS and Android as well. Thanks, Roland. So we're here. We're on this page. I said I was going to show us how to download these maps. And so I am going to click on the link.
Visited link install new map packages and dash here maps.
That says install new map packages. This is the link to get to the here map. So I'm going to press enter. Again, I went to our website, went to support, clicked on VictorReader Trek, and then this is the third link down after that heading level 2 of the VictorReader Trek. Going to press enter.
Enter. Main region. Install new map pack.
All right, this gets awesome. Now this is where you will find instructions on how to install the maps written out for you that I will go through. So we're not going to read all of those instructions line by line by line, but you will now have these broken down into country, And if there are multiple maps for your country, they will be broken down further into regions. So I am going to download one of the smallest packages because I don't want, again, to be here too long, but these maps, as opposed to taking 8 to 10 to 12 hours to install the entire North American map, this will take you about 20 to 30, depending on your map kind of size and depending on the speed of your internet. When you're on this page, what you can do, so I pressed enter to get to the Here Maps page. If I press 4,
no more headings at
come to the top,
no more headings at
and press H. I thought they were adding level 4, but if I press H from the top,
support install the new Here Maps heading level 1.
So here's the install new Here Maps. I'm gonna press H again.
Map links to choose from left parent by region or country, right parent : heading level 2.
You will have the map links to choose from, and you hear here that it's at heading level 2.
Link Saudi Arabia maps.
The first one is Saudi Arabia. Again, I'm just down arrowing after this, and you can pick the maps you want. We'll press enter on the ones we wish to download. When I press my down arrow, I will look at the next map here.
Link South Africa maps.
Right, and you're hearing each one of these countries. You, by all means, can download all of these. If you would like, you can download all of these to your computer, as long as you have about 28-ish gigabytes of space. That is how much the total map packages will take up. As Roland said, you cannot put all of them on your VictorReader Trek at once. Unless you were a very, very prominent world traveler, I don't see a reason for needing all of them at one time. But you can certainly have all of North America, or even all of North America, or most of it in Europe, for instance. Or you can mix and match, and we'll look at doing that. But going to press my down arrow.
Link blank. Link Russia maps.
Here's Russia.
Blank. Link Turkey maps.
Turkey, and so on.
Blank. Link Canada maps.
So you're hearing, again, all of these just have one piece, and
Blank.
none of these have been broken down into regions. Even Canada. Canada is all one map package.
Link Australia maps.
Here's Australia.
Blank. Link New Zealand maps. Link Baltics maps.
There's the Baltics.
Blank includes :
And you'll hear that underneath the Baltics link, it says includes, and then here are the countries that it includes.
Blank list of 4 items: bullet Estonia, bullet Latvia, bullet Lithuania, bullet Belarus.
Right, so you have Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Belarus, right, all in that Baltic map package. So if you download that package, those will be the maps you will be installing. I want to move to North America. Now, the quickest way to do that, there are many ways, but you can always search for what I would strongly recommend you do. If you're unsure as to what package your map is in, search for it, do a JAWS find or an NVDA screen find command to get to your state. So I'm just gonna do a Control F,
JAWS find dial,
and type in Illinois.
Illinois, enter, bullet Illinois.
And I come right to the map that contains Illinois. If I press my up arrow,
list blank includes link USA Midwest maps.
This would be USA Midwest, right? So if you're quickly looking for your state, it is listed. Your state will be listed here, or your country if it is broken down. If you were to search for Ontario or Alberta and you didn't see it, you would say, well, obviously that would be all of my particular country, or is one map. So keep that in mind. With the one I am going to download,
blank list N,
I'm going to do
link USA Midwest map blank page
our non-contiguous territories. So we're going to search for that because it's the smallest map.
JAWS find.
Let's just search
enter
here.
bullet link map connect bullet link predict bullet link bullet link bullet the power on package left quote map link USA non-contiguous territories maps.
Now this is the USA non-contiguous territories, right? And this will includes
blank list of bullet Alaska, bullet
Hawaii,
bullet Puerto
Rico, and others. But I can press enter on that link to download that map package. So I'm going to do that.
List blank include link USA non-contiguous enter alert downloading 121 MB.
It's going to download this map package, and you can download again as many as you want.
Alert,
they will show
download
up
complete
they will show up in your downloads folder. What I've done is I've downloaded all of these maps and I've put them into a folder in my documents folder on my computer called Here Maps. So what you'll hear when I move over to that folder, just for time's sake, I've already categorized and saved these. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to alt tab over to my Here Maps folder.
JAWS media zoom camera Here Maps items view multi select list box Canada 11/9.
Now you'll hear that I have Canada, Europe,
USA,
and USA. So again, I've created subfolders for each. Within those folders, then I have all of the maps living. So if I press enter on USA,
Europe, USA. Enter. Shell folder view. Items view multi-select list box. Not selected non-underlined.
Here's non-contiguous.
USA plus East dash Central dot.
Here's East Central.
USA plus Midwest.
Midwest, and so on. So I have all of these map packages here. Again, if you need to know what states are in each, they are listed on the site. But now we'll walk through how do we get these maps onto our VictorReader Trek. We see how fast and easy it is to download them. It's a matter of going to our support page, coming to the right map package, and then pressing enter and downloading it. Once it's downloaded, we now need to get it onto our player and then copied into our internal memory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my USB. So right now my VictorReader Trek, I'm going to turn it off. And once it's off, and this is the key here, your Trek does have to be off, you will connect it to USB power via the micro USB port. So I'm going to do that. And when I do that, what will happen is I'm going to then turn it on and we will get a message that says player connected. Now, I think my volume is very low. I will try to turn it up, but you should hear this will say player connected. If your Trek does not say player connected, you are not ready to go. And again, we're not going to be, I do have a document camera. We're not actually going to be using that yet. We're still just looking at the file explorer and moving pieces over. So I'm going to turn on my Trek at this point. Again, it is connected via micro USB. It is turned off. Now when I turn it on,
player connected.
We get a message
Notification
that says
from
player
autoplay.
connected.
VR Trek left pet escape.
And I also, my computer, you heard the noise indicating that my USB
Wi-Fi.
was connected, and you're going to get some feedback. My computer's been really
Volume 5.
glitchy lately with, you're probably hearing some whooshing noises coming through, and that will go away as soon as I'm done copying the map because I'll disconnect my USB. But again, player off completely, we connect USB, we turn the player on, and it says player connected. Now, and again, if you need an SD card in your unit, but it's at this point, I can copy and paste this map over to my SD card. So I'm going to find my non-contiguous.
USA plus Midwest. USA plus non-underlined contiguous underline and underline territories. 2010.
And I'm thinking, okay, this is the map I want to put on my unit. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard, so I'm just going to do a Control-C.
Copied.
And I'm going to open this PC. Again, I'm using Windows 10. I'm going to open this PC, so I'm going to go to the Start menu.
Search box.
Type in this.
This PC.
Press
app,
enter.
This PC. Item.
And at this point, once I'm in this PC, I'm going to press V to move to VR Trek.
V. Videos. V. Devices and drives expanded. VR Trek left.
And you see that it shows up here as a removable drive. I'm going to press enter on it.
Enter. This PC. Items view multi-select list box. Not selected. Trek.
And we see our Trek landmarks in our various folders that are all part of the VictorReader sort of SD card. I'm now going to paste my clipboard, and that will copy this map over to my device.
Pasted. 0% complete.
Oh man, we're getting all
Copying
kinds
one
of
item from
feedback going on here. This should only take a second. As soon as this is done copying, I will be turning this off and disconnecting, and this awful noise will go away. Something with my computer processor does not like all this stuff connected. But this is very straightforward. So again, we're just copying it over. I cannot wait to hear this recording and how loud this, there it goes, how loud these noises are that are coming through. But at this point, again, I've copied it over. I now can turn off my VictorReader Trek. Turning it off, and I'm going to unplug it from my USB drive. And there goes that terrible noise.
Multi-select list
Is gone. So I apologize for that, but I'm going to talk through the process quickly before I turn on the unit and show you how to actually copy the maps into your internal memory. We were on the HumanWare website. We found the VictorReader Trek support page. We clicked on the Here Maps link that brought us to the map packages. We download the packages we want. We will then copy them to our clipboard, and we're going to connect our player. When it is turned off, we turn it on, and it will say player connected. And at that point, we're able to open it up in this PC, and then we can paste those maps onto our SD card. Once they've been pasted, what I can do now, and I'm going to turn my Trek on and move to the orientation bookshelf. When I move to the orientation bookshelf, it's going to give me a prompt to ask if I want to install the maps. So I'm going to do that now. Turning on my Trek. And I'm also going to move over to my camera and mute my speech.
John meeting Zoom camera.
And Roland, you're going to have to tell me
Space. Speech on.
Welcome to VictorReader.
Can you,
if you can see this.
Volume
hey,
5.
can I ask you to move it a little bit towards you with the paper?
Yes.
Examine
Can
the
do.
map on the SD card.
Connected to
A little
Wi-Fi.
bit more.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So it's going to, I'm in orientation
Volume
mode,
6.
turning this up so everyone can hear it.
Searching for satellites.
It's going to search for satellites, and I'm in my basement, so it won't find them, but it will find my maps. So again, the button above the number 2, your circular button, you will push that
Maps
button.
were found on the SD card. Do you want to install the new maps now? Press confirm to install. Press any other key to cancel.
So again, the button above number 2, being the circular button, moves us between offline, online, and orientation mode. When I'm in orientation mode, if maps are detected on my SD card, it will ask me if I want to install these maps. If I press confirm, it's going to say, great, sure thing, Peter. Do you want to keep these maps on your SD card, or do you want them to be deleted once
Canceled.
they're copied?
Explore.
So, and again, I'm talking over it to explain it, and it canceled. So we're going to come back in orientation mode. But when it does that, if we choose to delete the maps, it will check the SD card every time we're in orientation mode. So if you don't want it to examine the SD card each time, I'd strongly recommend choosing to not keep them on your SD card unless you're going to need to use them again. What I would recommend doing is keeping them on your computer, and that way you won't have to worry about kind of always having them deleted and having it check the SD card every time. So again, we're going to move into orientation
Online
mode.
bookshop. Orientation.
Searching for satellites.
Once we move into orientation, we should get this message, although I might have to restart my player for it to actually examine the SD card because I waited too long because I was talking about the process. So let me do that.
Actually, orientation mode.
Yeah, it didn't pick it right away. So I'm just going to turn off and turn back on, and you will get that each time. So I'm going to turn on my unit. It's going to examine my SD card, and we are going to install those maps. Unit on. We're going to get a nice welcome to VictorReader. And at that point, it will then look for and find the maps on
Welcome to
my
VictorReader.
SD card. Okay, so it boots. We hear
Orientation.
it say orientation, and now examining maps, and
Please
it will
wait.
also say searching for
Connected to
satellites.
Wi-Fi.
Examining map on the SD card.
Once it examines, as we heard, it's going to find it, and then I'm going to press confirm to install the maps. I'm going to choose to not
Searching
keep
for
them
satellites.
on my SD card. And we will hear that it copies relatively quickly, and then I'll show us how to remove maps as well.
Maps were found on the SD card. Do you want to install the new maps now? Press confirm to install. Press any other key to cancel.
So I'm going to press confirm.
If you want to delete the maps from the SD card after updating, press confirm.
And again, confirm
Press
is
any other key to keep them on the SD card.
to the right of 0. So if I press any other key, I will keep them on the SD card, but I don't want to do that.
Copying maps.
This will be relatively
Please
quick.
wait. 56%.
Update successful. Shutting down.
And what it does, just like that, is it took the map from my SD card and copied it to my internal Trek memory. And now this map, in addition to lots of others, is on my device. Now, again, once you have maps on your device, you may want to take them off. So you may want to move maps onto or take them off. And we're going to go through how to delete maps from your device. So I'm going to turn my player on again. And we heard it power off automatically once the map was installed.
Welcome to VictorReader. Orientation.
All right. Now,
Please wait.
we are in
Connected
orientation
to
mode.
Wi-Fi.
Searching
And
for satellites.
it's going to say searching for satellites forever because I am in my basement, and we're not going to find satellites down buried in my basement. However, I will show you how to remove maps or add more maps. This process is the same over Wi-Fi. So we saw how to add them from the PC, but if we want to remove them, we have to use the online bookshelf, and it is also where we could choose if we wanted to add maps, we can do that on the online bookshelf as well. I'm going to press the key again above the number 2. That will move me into the online bookshelves.
Offline bookshelves. Online bookshelves. NLS Bard. 16. Books.
and I'm going to
Menu.
press
Wireless. Import a network configuration from file.
the number 7 to enter the menus. So as soon as I got into my online bookshelves, I pressed the number 7 to enter my menus. The first menu was the wireless menu. Going to press 7 a number of times to move through all of the different menus until I reach the one that says Maps. So again, we need to be in the online bookshelves. We get there by pushing the key above the number 2. We're then going to push 7 once we're in the online bookshelves until we get to Maps.
Bluetooth. General. Internet radio. Podcasts. NLS. Bookshare. NFB. New. Daisy Online.
Map. Map selection.
All right, we hear it say map selection. We're going to press confirm.
Africa.
And we will then
Unselected.
will be placed in a list of maps that we can download. And you hear the first one says Africa and it says unselected, meaning I do not have Africa selected to be on my device. If it is selected, that would mean that it is on my internal memory. If I press my 6 key, I'll move to the right through this list. So we heard Africa. I'm going to push 6 again.
Europe.
Here's Europe.
Unselected.
Unselected. I have no European countries or maps on my device. I'm going to press 6 again.
North America.
Selected.
North America is selected. So that means I have all of North America on my device. If you hear it say partially selected, that would mean you have some of a continent on your device. So again, pressing 4 and 6 moves us through this menu. When we get to the country we want, we're going to press confirm. So I'm on North America. I'm going to press, I'm actually going to press
Canada.
my 8 key
Selected.
to move down. So again, if we were to press confirm,
North America.
we don't want to press confirm because confirm finishes the process. Once you find the country you want, you're going to press 8 to drill down into that country's or continent's maps. So again, I'm pressing 8 when I get to North America. Canada
Selected.
is selected. I'm going to press my 6 key.
United States.
Selected.
And we hear it says United States is selected. Again, to get into the United States, I'm going to press my 8 key. So we use 4 and 6 to move between the countries here, but 8 to drill down into the country we want.
USA Northeast.
Selected.
And
Connecticut. Maine. Massachusetts. New Hampshire. New Jersey. New York. Pennsylvania. Rhode Island. Vermont.
And we hear all of the states that are listed in each map package. And you hear that I have that one selected, meaning it is on my device. Let's find that non-contiguous one and let's unselect it. So we're going to find a map we do not want anymore. Or if you hear a map that is unselected, you could always select it by pushing the bookmark key. The bookmark key is located above the number 3. It is shaped like a diamond, and that will toggle your status from selected to unselected. So I'm going to find our good old
non-contiguous and territories.
Non-contiguous.
Unselected.
And I press the bookmark key and it unselects that map, meaning it's going to, when I press confirm, that map or any maps that I have selected or unselected will be updated. So this is how, again, you go to the online bookshelves by using the key above the number 2. You press 7 until you get to maps, press confirm on map selection, and you move left and right through your continents with 4 and 6. Identify the continent you want, press 8 to drill down into it. And again, 4 and 6, if there are multiple countries and things, you'll press 8 to move down into your country list. And then in this case, find the region you want or the maps you want, select or unselect each map by using the bookmark key. Once you're finished making your selections, so you might have selected 4 and unselected 5 maps, press confirm, and you will hear the stats as for what it is you're about to do. Again, confirm being to the right of 0.
Maps to add.
0.
Maps to update.
0.
Maps to remove.
1.
Internal memory space freed.
118 megabytes. Press the confirm key to confirm, or any other key to cancel.
And you heard it say, I'm not adding any maps, I'm not updating any maps, but I am removing one map. I'm going to press confirm and it will be removed.
Confirmed.
Updating maps.
It's going to
Please have
update
your adapter plugged
my
in now.
selections,
Map modifications completed.
and it will
Victor
complete.
powering off.
Now, that was a very small map package, and I do not have my player plugged in because I don't want all that crazy sound to come through. But I would we definitely want you, if that's a bigger package, you need to have your player plugged in. This one's very small, so it just removed it, and my player shuts off. But now, for all intents and purposes there, that map is gone. That map is no longer on my device. So I added it via the computer. I took it away via the wireless online bookshelf map management feature. And I think, again, you can certainly still add maps the old way. You can absolutely add them via wireless. It's just good that it's going to take you a long time. And if you're looking for, we listened and we heard the feedback of, hey, it's really taking me forever to move through these maps. I don't want it to take 10 to 12 hours to download, the countries or the states or regions that I want. So we really wanted to make it easier, and we've very much done so by giving you the ability to not only look at and manage these from the website, but also to have many maps and global maps, have access to Europe. Maybe, hopefully, once everything is settled, right, with our current sort of pandemic blues that we're all in, some of us and many of us may be going different places, and hopefully some of you will be going to Europe, or maybe you'll be going to Australia, or maybe you're in Australia and you're going to come here and hang out in North America. You will be able to take those maps and not only use them when you get to your destination, but also virtually explore, which is what we are about to look at. Again, I'm going to turn on my player and we're going to look at some virtual exploration, and I'll be talking about that, and then we're going to take some time for questions related to version 2.1. Again, we'll keep those questions related to VictorReader Trek software version 2.1 and the features we've talked about here tonight. I'm going to turn this on by pressing and holding my power button. We're going to get a good old welcome to VictorReader message here in a moment. And I'm going to press my online, or my button above the number 2 to move to orientation.
Welcome to VictorReader.
The Hungry Years, a narrative history of the Great Depression in America.
All right, that is a book about the Great Depression in America. That is an NLS book. So we're not in our orientation bookshelf. I'm going to press the key again above the number 2 to quickly move into orientation.
Orientation.
Searching for
and
satellites.
It's going to say searching for satellites. And like I said, it's not going to find any because I am buried down here in my new basement office, because my old office is now a nursery. So there are way cooler people about to move into that room. No more Peter up there. But what I'm going to do is show and talk about how we use virtual map exploration. How do we virtually look at an area? And as Roland said, there are 3 ways to do this. If we have GPS coverage, we can press the 2 key to enter map browsing mode from our current location. If I try to do that right now, I'm going to press 2.
Press confirm to enter map browsing mode from current location.
So it says press confirm, and I'm going to say, oh, cool, yeah, I want to enter map browsing mode from my current location. If I press confirm.
Entering map browsing mode. The origin's coordinates may be invalid. Explore.
Wah, 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 wah. Because I don't have any coverage. So of course the origin's coordinates are invalid. It doesn't know where I am right now at all. So you are not entering map browsing mode from your current location if you don't have a current location. So it actually makes perfect sense, right? However, there are other ways to enter map browsing mode. And we can do that by entering a new address, or we can enter map browsing mode at a previously defined landmark. Now, I am going to do that. We're gonna actually go in and select a previously defined landmark. And to do that, we will press the go to key. So again, we're in orientation mode. We want to virtually explore. I'm going to press the go to key, which is above the number 1. It is shaped like a square. When we're in a book, it's how we go to page, or if we're in the podcast area, it's how we can add a podcast feed or go to a specific podcast feed. The go to key is very useful. Here it's going to bring me to a landmark or allow me to enter an address. So I'm pushing go to.
Select a landmark as your destination. 13 landmarks. 826
All right.
South May Street.
Now,
Chicago.
this
Illinois.
is my first landmark, 826 South May.
Podcast download completed.
I've just got a new podcast. It's real exciting. And another one.
Podcast download completed.
Those must be very short. So at this, oh man, 3 for 3.
Download completed.
Sorry, friends. So 3 podcasts coming in quick succession. What I can do though is once I press that go to key, it places me in a list of landmarks that I have. And you heard that first one was in Chicago. If you press your 6 key, you will move to the, through each landmark, or your 4 key. So you move forward and back. Again,
select a
here's
landmark as
my
your
first one is
destination.
826.
6558.
My second one is 6558.
930 Forest Drive.
This is in Michigan, I think.
Portage, Michigan.
Yep, that's my aunt's house. I was visiting this summer, testing all this stuff out. But if you use your 4 key,
6826. Enter an address.
The very first option in this list to the left of your first landmark is enter an address. So this is where you could press confirm and select your city, select your countries, type in the street names and such. But I'm going to go to a predetermined landmark. So I'm going to press 4 one more time.
4800 North Milwaukee Avenue,
All right.
Chicago.
This is a new one because I'm
Illinois.
tired of walking around in really tired of walking around in my neighborhood on this because it always looks the same, and I've been around my neighborhood way too much, and you all have too if you've been on these with me. So I'm going to press confirm to select this landmark, and it's going to ask, do I want vehicle instructions? Do I want walking directions? Or if I hit 2, I will enter map browsing mode from that location.
Press confirm to start instructions. Press and hold if in vehicle. Press up to enter map browsing mode.
So it says press up to
Warning,
enter map browsing
turn
mode.
instructions to a landmark may guide you through unfamiliar paths.
Up means 2. 2 is up, 4 is left, 8 is down, 6 is right. Think of it that way. So it says press up to enter map browsing mode. I'm going to do that.
Entering map browsing mode. You are currently on North Milwaukee Avenue, heading north.
All right, I am on North Milwaukee Avenue. Now, if anyone is familiar with Chicago at all, this is the northwest side of the city. It is Jefferson Park is pretty much where I am. I like to do at least once a month lately, these long 10 to 12 mile walks just for no reason, to really just get out there and get moving because we can't go to gyms and there's a lot of things we can't do. And I'm not over here saying I'm the most active human being on the planet, but I love to get outside. And I do these long walks, and this is where I ended up a couple weeks ago. And I always take my Trek with me because I love to know where I'm going. The Trek gives me more than just my direction of travel, right? It's going to give me my streets I'm coming up to in real time, the types of intersections and all of that. Same is true when we're in virtual map browsing mode. So when I was walking and I was with somebody and I would enter map browsing mode at my current location and actually look ahead to see what the intersections were that might be 2 or 3 blocks ahead of where we were, just to give myself a sense of where we were. But you can do this as well. So again, when you're in map browsing mode, the 2 key will move you forward. And we're currently on Milwaukee. If I press my 5 key.
Near 4803 North Milwaukee Avenue.
We hear where we are. And once I start moving, so I'm going to press my 2 key to walk forward or move straight ahead.
In 187 feet, 3-way intersection, North Milwaukee Avenue crossing West Ainsley Street on your right.
Now, Milwaukee Avenue is interesting here because it is angled, but I should be heading north or northwest. So if I hit my 5 key, it will give me my direction of travel now that I've started moving. So again, the 2 key moves us forward. I'm going to press 5 to figure out where am I? What direction of travel am I heading in?
Heading northwest.
Yep.
Near 4819 North Milwaukee Avenue. Current intersection, 3 ways. North Milwaukee Avenue crossing West Ainsley Street on your right.
So this is where, if I wanted to, I'm going to press 2 one more time. Let's go another block north.
In 121 feet, 3-way intersection, North Milwaukee Avenue crossing West Higgins Avenue on your left.
All right, Higgins and Milwaukee. I think this is where when I was real little, I had a birthday party somewhere around here. So I don't know where the place is probably long gone. But when we hear these intersections, it says we're at a 3-way intersection right now, Milwaukee crossing Higgins on my left. If I want to turn and walk down Higgins, I can press 4, meaning left.
On your left, West Higgins Avenue.
Here's Higgins Avenue, and now I press 2 and I'll be walking. At this point, in theory, I'm walking west, and we'll confirm that in a moment. But if I press my 2 key.
In 200 feet, 3-way intersection, West Higgins Avenue crossing North Long Avenue on your left.
All right, we're at Higgins and Long, right? If I press my 5 key again, I'm going to hear that I should be walking west.
Heading west.
All right.
Near 5419 West Higgins Avenue.
Now, that's all nice.
Current intersection, 3 ways. West Higgins Avenue crossing North Long Avenue on your left.
But what if I want to look at points of interest? And again, the here maps, and we have to be very cognizant right now of these points of interest. I know we all know many businesses that were here today or last week or last month or 7 months ago. There's been a lot of changes. So I would definitely foresee some map updates coming. And Roland, maybe we'll touch on that once I'm done with this, just what will map updates look like or how often they might be in the pipeline. But there will be certainly points of interest are very fluid. That is not something that is static, right? They're very dynamic. They're going to change. So that coffee shop down the street may have closed. I have certainly looked at Yelp or Google Maps or lots of map providers. They're not going to always be in real time. And a lot of times reaching out to those providers can help with, hey, this business doesn't exist, or we need to get these things into an update. So we'll be able to push that to you with new points of interest. But if you're looking for what's around, if I press and hold my 5 key.
What's around? 26 items. 1. Jefferson Park. Park/recreation area. 4898 North Long Avenue.
So I am
26 feet.
at Jefferson Park, which is a cool park. But if I press and hold 5, I will hear all of my what's around items, and I can move through them with my 6 key.
2. Newlyweds Foods. Grocery store. 4849 North 3. 7-Eleven.
Right. We
Convenience
get the sense
store.
of this.
4859 North Milwaukee Avenue.
So there's a 7-Eleven there.
350 feet.
There is a Newlyweds, which is a perfectly aptly named grocery store for some reason. But again, we're seeing those points of interest, and it will allow us to know what's around. You can also, which I've demonstrated before, if you want, you can do an extended search, and we can always search for points of interest by name or by category.
Map browsing mode.
So it will allow us to pull up those points of interest as we walk. I can also drop a landmark here. So even though I'm virtually, walking ahead of myself, or I'm just virtually exploring, if I press my record button or my bookmark key, I can drop a landmark virtually, so that when I walk to that intersection, my landmark or my voice is going to tell me whatever it is that I set for that landmark. And again, it's probably wouldn't be used as much, but you might remind yourself that Tom's house is on the left in a block, or something like that, right? Landmarks, usually you're going to set them while you're walking, but you can set them in virtual map browsing mode. So again, just to give you a sense of this, remember there are 3 ways to enter map browsing mode. You can enter it at your current location by pressing 2. Again, you have to have GPS coverage to enter map browsing mode at your current location. You can enter it by putting in an address, manually entering an address, which will then be saved as a landmark, and you can just push 2 once that address is found, or you can go to a predetermined landmark. So 3 ways of entering map browsing mode. Once you do press 2, it will ask if you want to enter at map browsing mode, and you'll hit confirm, and boom, you'll be in. So it's a very, very nice way, and I'm really excited. I have not had this on the road. I had this once at CSUN. So once I came home from CSUN with my alpha version that I was really excited about, nobody could travel. So we had definitely a delay in getting the beta testing of this done the way we would have liked, because we didn't have people running all over the place and testing this. So it definitely is, it's exciting for me once we get back out on the road. I've been walking around with this in my neighborhood, and the accuracy on the HERE maps is fantastic. Even to the point of, I live on a fire lane here in Chicago. My road is not a through street for cars, but it is a pedestrian road. And the HERE maps know that it's a pedestrian road. So the map accuracies, and we've heard feedback from our beta testers that are very pleased with it. And I've heard from users that they're very pleased with it. So again, quick, just sort of a recap of all of this. On our website, we walked through where to go, how to get to the support page. Once on that support page, it is cleaned up. There are 5 links. You can get your documentation. Second link being where to go to get the new voice packages that you will download and move over to your SD card, just like we did with the maps. The third link is a link to the various maps, and those are all found and broken down by country. If the countries have multiple maps, or if the continent has multiple countries, they will be listed below each map, so you can determine what map is in which what are you looking for? I would search for your country name or your state name, and you can identify exactly which map your state is part of. You can download as many as you'd like, but it's a matter of copying them over to your player. So to do that, you will have your player turned off. You will connect your micro USB to the player, put it in your computer, and once you get a single vibration, turn your unit on. And if it does not say player connected, you're going to want to probably use a different USB cable, or you're going to need to use a different port on your computer. My laptop, for instance, only one port works to transfer files, and it's just the power and the way that my laptop works. So keep in mind, if you're not getting a player connected message when you turn your player on, when it's connected to your PC, you are not going to be able to move maps over. You're going to have to do it a different way. Once you do have it connected, it's a matter of copying and pasting, dragging and dropping your files out of the SD card, copying them over, and then turning your player off and disconnecting the USB. Once you do that, you'll turn it on, move to orientation mode with the button above the number 2, and it will scan or examine your SD card for maps. It's going to ask you, do you want to install these maps that we found? Press confirm, you will. It's going to say, do you want to keep the maps on the SD card? That is your choice. Keep in mind, if you choose to keep the maps on your SD card, every time you go into orientation mode, your card will be examined and you'll just have to ignore the message because it will see that those maps are already installed. So again, just keep it in mind. It might be something that some find annoying. Maybe some people want it. Maybe you want all of your maps on an SD card. I, for one, like them on my computer, and I will move them on as I need to. We also looked at where to go. Again, once they copy, your unit turns off. We looked at how to add them. We also looked at where to go to remove or add maps from the online area. And that's a matter of using the number 2. I'm sorry, the button above the number 2 to move to your online bookshelf. Once in that online bookshelf, press 7 until you get to maps, press confirm, and you will enter map selection where you use 4 and 6 to move through your continents. You press 8 to drill down into that continent, let's just say, North America. You will then have a choice of countries. So again, you'll drill down into the country you want, find the map you would like, what is included with each map is listed. To select or unselect, you will press your bookmark key. Once you've selected or unselected the maps that you desire, press confirm, and your player will update or remove or install the maps that you have chosen. Just keep in mind, if you're installing maps that way, it can certainly take some time because it needs to go through the server. After that, we looked at map browsing mode, and I just recapped that, so I'm not going over that again, but I really hope this was helpful. As always, I do like talking with everybody instead of at everybody. So